the tour actually for you is the way I see it quite a good opportunity to present your latest album, which is still hot. It came out in October last month. The Brotherhood of the Snake. So I know it might be a bit early, but how do you see the album so far from your perspective after all the shows played?
Well, the record came out on the night of the first show, so we chose to open with the title track, and we knew that the crowd would probably be like, huh? And they did for the first 4 shows. I think everybody was kind of like, but after that, you could start to see people in the audience singing it, and just like, so now I think it's kind of becoming, part of us. So that's cool.
In some interview, I'm not really sure who it was, I think it was probably Chuck or someone else, said that the album is some of the fastest stuff in the Testament catalog. So I imagine the response is pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, we're a thrash metal band, but not only thrash. I mean, Testament has ballads. We have mid-tempo songs. Yeah. I think Testament's more known for groove, like groove thrash kind of stuff. But this one is a little bit more relentless. Just it's kind of like The Gathering, where it just goes bah, bah, bah,
straight
bah,
to the point.
Yeah, straight to the point. And even though there was a slower song, I hate to use the word ballad because it sounds like Motley Crue or something. Nothing wrong with Motley Crue, but we have this really epic slower song, and maybe for the next record, we'll work on it.
So, and did you, after more than 30 years in the business, did you feel like it was time to, let's say, have a change of pace? With this being some of the fastest stuff?
No, I think the pace is just going faster.
You need to keep up.
Yeah. I mean, when this record was written, it was a really weird record. This time around, we didn't rehearse as a band. Mm-hmm. It was more kind of me and Chuck working everything out with a ghost drummer, and the other guys were on tour. And we only had like certain windows, like we would have a couple months off, and then everything was booked already. We had the summer tour, we had the Slayer tour, we had this, that. So there was one window where we could have it done, which was I think April and May, and we just went for it, even though we weren't 100% prepared. But I think through the I'm lost for words here for a second. What's it called? Just the pressure. Sorry, that's the drinking. Anyway, so the pressure. Sometimes pressure makes things better.
Yeah,
because you don't have time to sit there and think and argue and debate stuff. It's just like the original idea, which to me, a lot of times when we have original ideas, they come around, we go through all this, and then it comes back to the main idea again. So now it's just like all the way.
Talking about the ideas, how did you actually come to the whole concept behind the album, all the secret societies and aliens and stuff like that?
Chuck came up with the title. I think he was on the internet and seen something. There's a show back in the States, I don't know if they have it here, it's called Ancient Aliens. And we're all into that. Like, it's just cool just to watch it and strip on stuff like that. But when he had the title, I knew right away what he was talking about, the Sumerian races, and just the way since 2012 from the Bible that's the year that the beast will come out and confuse everybody with religion and science. And it's just weird how it says it there and it's really happening. So it's kind of trippy. But yeah, we put those two together and kind of just did some research, and I mean, it's more of a abstract version of maybe what really is going on. That's crazy. I know.
When you mentioned the pressure,
it's at the title. I mean, it's crazy. It's not like rock and roll and sex. Like, yeah, it's about, it's like Brotherhood of the Snake. It's deep. So,
when you mentioned the pressure, did you also feel external pressure from the fans? Because in the after year 2000, Testament has only put out 3 albums. So I imagine all those albums are highly expected, are a bit more scrutinized by the public. So,
well, I mean, I knew, like I said, when we decided to make it happen. I think I was a fan already of what I had written. Me and Chuck had put together, and I think we knew that we had something good, but we weren't done with it. But I think it in the studio and just the pressure would add to that, getting it right, because we're very, we're sticklers on what we do. We're very cautious of, putting out something crappy. I mean, there's some stuff where there was times where some of the songs were not that good. It was the same riff, but it was just the way it was put together. It was just like, so, yeah. Yeah, and also just what you're saying, how long it takes. We tour a lot now, so it isn't like we tour for a year and then we're home for 3 years waiting to write a record. I mean, we're kind of like sprinting everywhere. Touring Europe twice, doing the States, going to Japan. I mean, I'm making it sound like it's miserable. It's not. It's pretty cool. But we're doing a lot of touring, so it's kind of hard to get in the studio. But I think on this next one, we're going to look at having a record out in 2018.
So about the touring, that was actually what I wanted to point at, because as you said yourself, you're doing a lot of tours, almost all the time. And it's quite interesting that even though from the outside it may seem that the interest in metal and thrash metal is slowly fading, it's actually the opposite. So why do you think that bands, legends such as yourself, or I don't know, Slayer, the guys from the Big Four, and Exodus, for example, you are still going strong and attracting huge crowds? So why do you think is that?
Oh,
and the crowds are still growing.
It's cool music,
We all know that. That's why we are here.
We put our heart into it, and I don't know. I mean, I think it's just there's a lot of belief in it still, and just the way I feel about it, and the way we portray ourselves with it. It's real, and it's we're not struggling for it. I mean, it isn't like
it comes naturally.
It isn't like the record came out and there's like, there's that one good song, but your old stuff is classic. They're comparing our new stuff to like the best. And that's, for a band that's been around for 30 years, that's pretty cool. Because when I was a kid growing up, a lot of the bands that I liked that were around this long, their records, not all of them, but, it was always like, I like their old stuff better.
Yeah.
But I think for Testament, it's more, the new stuff is compatible, or maybe better musically than the old stuff. I mean, the old stuff is classic, so
yeah,
some of it. I mean, there's some songs like Into the Pit and Over the Wall that I could probably write today. I would go there. I wouldn't change anything. Hey, what's up? This is Eric from Testament, and you're watching Slusley Knau right now.